Hello Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome to my channel. I'm Claire. This is going to be your video for the second half of July 2020. We're going to take a look at your recent past, your current energy, and then what is in the immediate future for you. These are general readings, so they may not resonate with all of you. If they do, please let me know what's going on in the comment section. Give this video a like, whatever you're called to do. Feel free to introduce yourself to me. Other things I have been saying about these videos this week are that it feels really appropriate to just kind of mention that the recent past that we're referring to in these readings isn't actually last week or yesterday necessarily. This is something that is a pattern which has reached enough of a reached maturity enough for you to confront and work with and deal with in this present moment. So I hope that brings some sort of clarity to whatever comes up in this reading for you. So let's get into it. What's going on for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, the second half of July 2020? Okay, I also want to preface this reading by saying I was meditating on your energy before we began, and I just had a lot of pain actually in my kidneys, my lower back. So you might be feeling pretty depleted, might be feeling a little bit of like adrenal fatigue, or might just not be drinking enough water. So however that resonates for you, make sure you're taking really good care of yourself. So the bottom of the deck is the High Priestess, followed by Death reversed, followed by the King of Pentacles, and the World reversed. So there's quite a bit of stubbornness here in letting go of something and completing a cycle and releasing yourself from obligations to other people. I see there's also a sense that without the chains or the sense of responsibility towards something, you're feeling very lost. That's kind of my first impression. And sort of there's a sense of wanting to control the outcome in this situation again as well. So my first impression of this spread, we have, oh God. Well, there's a lot of imbalances I kind of see in between your inner world and your outer world. I feel like your animus is not meeting up with your divine within. So what do I mean by that? Whenever we have something inside of us that needs to be shared with the outside world, our ego or our animus is how we do that in a healthy way without being confused by like the way that people perceive us is not who we are. It is simply the vehicle that we use to express ourselves. I'm just seeing that the relationship that you have with your animus is at a impasse. It's imbalanced in some way. There's some sort of like hostility that I'm feeling from this, like not really trusting maybe your own ego. Maybe there's been an ego death, and as a result of it, the rebirthing process is really challenging. But this also just kind of feels like there are a lot of voices in your environment. Maybe like you're in part of a spiritual community that kind of like frowns on the ego as just like, you know, just kind of neglecting the fact that we do need that vehicle to be expressing our outer voice. This can also just be the yang part of us. You know, there's yin, which is internal. It's cold, damp, kidneys. And then there's yang, which is outward. It's heat, it's expressive, it's creative. So yeah, bit of a balancing act there. So in your recent past, we have the Ace of Wands, we have the Six of Swords, and we have the Empress reversed. So I feel like there was a transition which needed to happen. I feel like you walked away from something in order to achieve a degree of self-healing here. There's some sort of an overwhelm, maybe again, of that responsibility piece of feeling committed to some people, or maybe committed to your own path or your own sort of like perspective or opinion, like those kind of themes. With the Ace of Cups here, I see a brand new beginning. So you had to walk away from something, and it kind of looks like you had to walk into a healing storm in order to achieve this Ace of Cups moment. That's like this really beautiful new beginning emotionally, a new song, a new sense of royalty. For some of you, this will be sort of like claiming your throne or like claiming your crown. And then also like the sort of coming to peace with what death is in a way. This is going to be very like not for everybody, but it feels like, once everything is stripped away from the human body, the skeleton remains, and the skull is laughing. There's a lot of sort of silliness and joy that underlies all of us, and we just have to put on a facade of seriousness to get taken seriously in our culture sometimes, even though it's not really like who we are inherently. I feel like there was something inside of you that was like, why all these games of seriousness? Like, it's enough for me to be sincere without maybe taking your games that seriously. I hope that makes sense. That came out a little bit weird. So in your current energy, we have the Three of Wands, the Seven of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. So I feel like you're just kind of getting your shit together here. This feels a lot like emotionally, I feel like you want to move towards something. There's something you want to chase and defend for yourself or for someone else. I feel like this is a departure from the flock again. But you're in this place where leaping forward and like kind of defending that high ground is just a priority more than anything, this feels like. In your immediate future, we have the King of Cups reversed, we have the Three of Pentacles reversed, and we have the Emperor. So there's some like serious power structures that you will be confronting with this. Maybe whatever flock it is that you're departing from, or whatever games it is that you're starting to denounce. There comes a bit of an emotional block with that. It's kind of one of those situations where you start to detach from the environment, but then like the tethers that were like holding you to your emotions were also those people in some way. So it can be expressed as like either becoming really comfortable with isolation. Again, like we're in the middle of a global pandemic, so like a lot of us have become very either very good at being self-sufficient with ourselves, which is a healthy way for this to express, but it can also express as like getting really, really comfortable with being alone, that rejoining society feels dangerous in some way. And it's a creative block for some of you. It'll be it could be for some of you as well, if that doesn't resonate at all, that you need to be cutting off from some sort of a communicative circle in order to break out of whatever these structures are here that are like not serving you anymore. Yeah, it could just be, yeah, I get a sense that there's like a little bit of like emotional control here that is either being exerted over you or you are trying to exert over someone, is kind of how this feels. Is like somebody just wants to get like do the right thing. Somebody just wants to like get shit done. They're not really listening to anybody else's perspective. Maybe because, you know, they've had to like, I feel like this is you kind of like leaving the flock so that you can go inwards and get your emotional healing done, departing from that flock. But there's a lot of like, I feel just this emotionally like kind of being swept and not really knowing where your anchor is at this point. So there might be a lot of fear in your picture as well. and just learning how to connect to your plumb line, the thing that goes really, really deep down in. And that's why the kidney thing is here. So in traditional Chinese medicine, every organ system has an emotion that is associated with it, and for the kidneys, it is the emotion of fear. You might be seeing a lot of black, a lot of blue, might be feeling very tired. Again, this is the kidneys and the adrenals. The medicine for water people, for kidney people, for fear, is learning to sit with it. There's nothing else you can really do but learn how to sit with it and learn how to find the stillness that goes all the way to the bottom of the well for you in order to get a space to hold on to peace beneath the fear. Okay. We have the Queen of Pentacles here. Someone who's very stable, someone who's very emotionally fulfilled within themselves, someone who has the capacity to give love freely, without agenda. I feel like this is the vibration that you're starting to step into, Let's clarify a little bit. Let's go into this Empress reversed in your in the recent past. Sorry, my nose is like hella itchy again. Oh, God. Okay. Who's gossiping out there? I know you're out there. Okay, we have the Five of Pentacles, we have the Eight of Cups, and we have the Five of Cups. Ooh, the Two of Cups on the bottom. So this could be a breakup situation, but this feels, wow, really, I think there's a lot of themes in your life about being abandoned that have become, again, it was how you maybe coped at one point in your life, is like doing one thing kept you out of dangerous emotional waters. There is a time for that. There's a place for that. There's also a time to start to live and not just cope. So what I'm seeing here is you have a lot of sadness that you're carrying about being left behind in some way, about having your expectations disappointed in some way by someone or other. There might be a spiritual figure or a spiritual practice that was supposed to bring you some kind of community maybe, or sense of belonging. The expectation fell short, however, and the community, the very community that was supposed to bring you in, the very community that was supposed to make you feel at home, make you feel comfortable, make you feel accepted exactly as you are, in fact became the community that rejected you. And there's a lot of grief that lingers as a result of that. And there's a lot of grief, a lot of questions about where do I belong? Who do I belong to? Who will claim me? For some of you, this will be. And the process of reaching down into that sort of fear of, how do I sit? How do I sit with this? How do I combat these fears enough to recognize that there are people out there who will love me exactly as I am? There's a grief process that has to happen there. And a faith that I wonder if it has survived or not. I feel this is very forlorn. I feel a lot of sadness from these cards for you, and I really, I do empathize, but I do also see that there are people, there are communities that are bigger, healthier, more compassionate, everything that community, whatever it was, supposed to be. there are ones that are that in reality, and that will see you for exactly what you are and love you and take you in and bless every single gift inside of you. And just, you know, I'm getting emotional thinking about this for you because it's, you know, it's part of that human condition. Do I belong? You do. Let's talk about this Ace of Cups in your recent past. We have the Emperor again. We have the Magician. And we have the Knight of Wands. Wow. Look at you go. Look at you reflecting on the past and finding a new solution. I feel like what happened here is this dialogue shifted somehow for you. You know, this is a transition moment. This is leaving one state of being and going into the next. And in that transition, somewhere what happened is the disillusionment process of what was, you know, this belonging piece that I've talked about explicitly now for a few minutes. There was a shift that happened for you, and you realized, if I can't find it, I'm gonna make it. Okay? If I can't find it, I will make it. Those people are there. And it's this beautiful new emotional beginning for you. There's so much passion. There's so much passion. There's so much beautiful inspiration. And really not afraid to get your hands dirty and do what needs to be done in the process. You know, this is willpower. This is true willpower. It's really amazing. Let's talk about this Six of Swords in your recent past. We have the Moon, we have the Seven of Pentacles, and we have the Knight of Swords. So there's a bit of, you know, with fear comes distortion. Your gift, Pisces, is to have that Neptunian sense of emotionally connecting to anybody. Like, you're really such a beautiful emotional chameleon in that way. And I think what happened here was the detection of ambiguous emotions within others, ambiguity around how accepted did they feel? How much do they sacrifice of themselves to fit into this? And while emotionally, intuitively you knew something had to be done, and you knew you had to turn your back in order to create this environment where these people can all coexist together, there are some fine details that are muddled. There's a bit of mental confusion. Emotionally, I feel like in your heart of hearts, in, you know, the bottom of that plumb line again, where it's still in the storm, you know, there's a truth there that you know, and that's what keeps you grounded. But the next few weeks, there will be a mental confusion piece that will come in for you, where knowing like what worked in the past is no longer working. And so confronting what fears that activates again, like fear is going to be a really big thing to work through for you for the next few weeks. But, you know, seeing and saying to yourself, perhaps the details of this new, I don't know, like maybe you're creating a new work culture or a new outreach program, or you're just looking for people in your life who fucking get it. You kind of are just working out the details of like, what do they look like? How do I identify them? How do they identify me? How do we get in touch with each other? How do we connect? And where are the common threads from the past? Like, how do I identify these people's behavior in the past that might be this fear that they have lingering just beneath the surface? How can I identify that in people so I can recruit them? This is what this feels like. Let's get to your immediate future, or sorry, your current energies with this Knight of Cups. We have Judgment, we have the Hermit reversed, and we have the King of Cups reversed again. So I feel, again, you're very isolated right now. I feel that, you know, there might be some fear in rejoining society, but it looks like it's time, because my sense is the hesitation to rejoin society was because going back to old patterns or old groups of people, you know, it's this whole story. It's like, it wasn't working. I can't do that. So like the isolation period has been extended, it has been prolonged, and you're just being asked right now to draw those lines in the sands and get very clear about what you want. Sorry, we might have a bit of noise coming in. There's just a bunch of construction right outside, so I apologize if I get lost in the noise, but that's what's going on. So I feel that there is kind of a sense that what was lost is now being found, and you are being very explicitly asked to connect to the power that comes in setting those boundaries and setting those intentions, and very, very clearly committing to yourself, finding those people. You know what I mean? Like, it's, one of my mentors would say this, and like I had to really battle with it, because it was like, in our culture we have this sort of dialogue where it's like, you can't love somebody unless you love yourself, and it's like, you can lick your wounds, okay? You can lick your wounds when you're alone, and you can get the pieces together, but healing, really like healing, true healing, that happens in community, and it needs to be witnessed, it needs to be seen. And so I just encourage you in this moment, don't try to do it all by yourself, okay? There is something, this isolation is telling you a lie, that you need to be alone forever, and there will never be anyone to accept you as you are. These are lies. These are lies. And for you, judging those thoughts, articulating them, recognizing that you deserve to heal, and doing that will require reintegration into a culture of your choice. I mean, this is life work. This is life work. Queen of Wands. Yeah. Detaching from popularity contests. Looking for the real ones. Yeah, that feels clear. What I will do now is, I feel like I've given you a lot to think and work through. I don't want to overwhelm this video by making it inundated with too much. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up just with a few more cards from the universe. What does Pisces need for the next couple of weeks? Two of Cups, Two of Swords. Ooh, Five of Wands. Cool. All right. There's decisions that you need to make right now. There's decisions about who you join yourself to, who you marry yourself to. I don't mean literal marriage. It might be for some of you, but really this feels more like what you invest your spiritual gifts into. You have to uncover your heart, babe. You have to have courage, like have courage of those convictions, and having the truth within yourself that says, this is what I want, this is what I need, and I will fight for it. I will fight myself out of this situation, because there's so much more, and it exists even if you can't see it yet. Your heart knows, even if your head doesn't yet. Okay, so that is what I have for you. I really, really hope this resonates, and I hope this brings you some sort of clarity. I'll see you in your next reading. Bye.